For 2 days this month, a wheat field grew in downtown Washington, D.C. Hearst Elementary School fifth grader Alyssa Campbell says she was puzzled when she heard it would come and go.
And I was like, but that's impossible. Wheat fields are in the ground. And so I was really wondering how wheat fields could move since they're not alive and they don't have legs.
But the wheat farmers and food makers trade groups made it happen. Before the school kids arrived, workers hauled in containers with wheat plants in each stage of the life cycle, from grassy young sprouts to green-headed shoots to amber waves of grain ready for harvest. They brought in a giant combine that harvests the wheat and a grain mill that grinds it into flour. And they even set up replica supermarket shelves to close the loop.
And our cupcakes are almost finished.
So when the school kids came to see how wheat becomes cupcakes, they got the full farm-to-finger food experience.
What do you think, Carolina?
Underneath all the delicious frosting is a serious message. Jerry McReynolds is a Kansas wheat farmer and president of the National Association of Wheat Growers. He says the groups put the exhibit together because Americans don't know enough about where their food comes from.
All we can do is try to give some education and help them understand that it's a process. It doesn't just happen. You don't just go to the store and it's magically there.
McReynolds says school kids are not the only ones who need a lesson on where their food comes from. He says policymakers writing environmental regulations have lost track too.
We wouldn't do anything to harm the environment. But when there's undue regulations that cause us either financially or just makes it impossible to meet those regulations that may have to do with water or dust or spray or any of those types of things, it just drives agriculture away.
McReynolds says if lawmakers and regulators understood agriculture better, they would not make rules that threaten American farmers' ability to raise food for the nation and the world. But environmentalists say farmers' complaints about overregulation are overblown. Among them is Don Carr, a spokesman for the nonprofit Environmental Working Group.
They have exemptions under the Clean Water Act, non-point sources of agriculture, which is the biggest contributor to the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. You've got all this farm runoff coming from the Mississippi River Basin. That's not regulated.
Carr says events like this one are the farmers' response to popular movies and books that criticize their practices. He adds that not everyone who learns more about modern food production comes to the same conclusion.
And the more they learn about the environmental perils of some of the agricultural practices that we engage in, the more they've made their voices heard, which makes these PR campaigns needed by the big growers.
And while fifth grader Alyssa Campbell is too young to vote, her father is not. The fate of rules and regulations governing how farmers raise our food and protect our environment rest in the hands of his elected officials, just up the street on Capitol Hill. Steve Baragona, VOA News, Washington.